and watch an Infinity Mirror, which probably won't take very long.
It should be fast and furious.
Yeah. Now, this Infinity Mirror, a little bit different than your days of the Infinity Mirror.
Not the same thing.
No. Your Infinity Mirror days had Skull Clamp, right?
No.
It was banned and block. Right.
Yes.
It was banned. It's a good decision there. We got a Mox Opal, Springleaf Drum Mem Knight, Blinkmoth Nexus, Steel Overseer, turn 1 from Morawski.
Average start.
Very average, 5 cards. For Eric Hawkins, he's going to have to top that, or at least try to keep pace with that. Now, Overseer, if this thing gets to untap and activate for a turn,
Yep.
it's unlikely Hawkins will be able to come back.
Gets out of control quick.
Blinkmoth Nexus is the first land. And it looks like Hawkins has a Vault Scourge and a Springleaf Drum. He's going to start by playing a Vault Scourge. A little Phyrexian mana here. It's going to bring him down to 18. I think that might be it. His turn's so boring.
Yeah, similar turn, right?
They're basically the exact same.
Yeah.
Morawski will draw a card. Picked up a copy of Glimmervoid. Morawski, a pretty soft-spoken guy. Saw him qualify for the Players' Championship last year, mostly through the IQ circuit, but showed at the Players' Championship that he is quite skilled at the game. Was no accident that he was there. He'll activate Inkmoth Nexus. Now he's going to activate Silverseer. Some +1/+1 counters are going to be divvied up here on the artifact creatures. And Hawkins already quite behind here.
This is the dream.
For Eric, once he's at 14, he'll take a draw step here. Picked up a Steel Overseer of his own. The thing in this matchup is just, when you get behind like this, it can almost be frustrating at times, right? Because there's almost no way to come back.
Well, it's funny because, yes, it is frustrating, but they're playing the same deck as you.
Yeah.
You know?
So I guess how mad can you really get?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because you could just do this to them.
Exactly.
The very next game. That's definitely possible. Not to say this game's over yet for Eric. I think for him to be able to get back in this game is going to involve a cranial plating on that Vault Scourge.
It would be a big help. A Galvanic Blast could help clean things up.
There's still Overseer. Here's a Mox Opal. The follow-up is another Vault Scourge. Maybe. There. Springleaf Drum.
All right.
And now Vault Scourge. He'll fall down to 12. Pretty sure.
This is still so rough for him. He's so far behind.
Yeah. He's going to attack with this Vault Scourge. Going to gain life, go up to 13. Morawski will fall down to 19. When we go back Jonathan's way. He'll draw a card, so has an active Steel Overseer. Don't know if he needs much more than this. Darksteel Citadel, Glimmervoid in hand. We're also going to survey the battlefield a little bit here. The issue here, I think, if you're Jonathan, I think he's out of gas.
Yes.
Nothing really doing in the hand. Looks like 2 lands and a Mox Opal. The issue here is, can he keep leaning on Hawkins? Because he can't kill him this turn. He can fire both Nexus and attack if he wants to.
Well, with his advantage with the Overseer, his activated first.
Yep.
His guys are always going to be one bigger. I think he's wondering if he wants to leave one of them back.
It looks like he's going to leave Inkmoth back. I guess there's no guarantee that we even see him activate Overseer like right now. He could wait, maybe play a little bit defensively with it. Potentially. Mem Knight's a 2/2. Blinkmoth Nexus is a 2/2. And if I'm Hawkins, I don't think I have any good blocks, but I also don't think I'm going to die. All right. He's going to activate the Inkmoth Nexus.
Sure.
Here's some pumps. So 6 damage will come across. Eric's going to fall down to 7. Replacement Mox Opal.
Yep, now he still has his creature land back on defense.
Yep. All right, to Eric will go. Cranial plating in hand. Quite a few artifacts out there, too.
The cranial plating is just huge with the lifelink off the Vault Scourges.
Yeah, because this is not an infect game.
No.
I'm a little surprised that, I mean, there's still some turns to be played here, but with the start that Morawski had in Active Steel Overseer, I kind of almost gave up on Eric right away, and plating plus Vault Scourge is actually a way to get back in this thing.
Yep, it looked like the game was going one way, and a couple draw steps later, it might just be going the other way.
Yeah. So Eric, taking a look over a couple different things, do you think it's as straightforward as plating on Vault Scourge?
Well, he's wondering, do I send in one Vault Scourge with the plating on it, move the plating over, and have the other one back on defense?
Okay.
Do I want to send just both Vault Scourges in, gain more life? If he puts his 3/3 Ink Moth in front of my 2/2, then I'm gaining a whole bunch of life and dealing a whole bunch of damage with the cranial plating Vault Scourge.
Sure, okay. Plating is the first step of the turn, so that's on the battlefield now. And we're going to see a Vault Scourge. Yeah, we're going to see him equip a Vault Scourge here. I'd be very surprised if we didn't, let's say that.
Yeah, it's going somewhere. The question is, how frisky does he want to get with his attack?
Yeah. I think it's appropriate just one.
Yeah.
I think if I'm in this spot, I think just one. Because the other thing he can do too, right, is he could attack with the other Vault Scourge as well, and then he has the ability to instantly equip the other cranial plating on the Vault Scourge with the Spring Leaf Drum and the Mox Opal.
Sure, move the plating. Yeah.
I don't know if that gets him anywhere, but it's an option that's available. As it stands right now, cranial plating is giving a bonus of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and potentially more if he wants to activate any of his Nexus lands. And you see him count there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right now, Vault Scourge is a 7-power creature with, again, the potential for a lot more.
Big swing.
Yep. Inkmoth Nexus is going to jump in front of that. Pass the turn back. Maybe trying to trap him?
Well, no, like you said, he can move it at instant speed. Or if he doesn't have to move it at instant speed, he can activate his lands and get them bigger with his Steel Overseer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Morawski's draw for the turn was a copy of Spellskite.
Not a lot doing with the Spellskite.
No. That card at times can be good in this matchup. I feel like it's kind of a freebie for Affinity to play a couple copies in the main deck. Has applications across other matchups in the format.
But this is the scenario where you get punished.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just does not do a lot in this matchup. However, he will cast a Spellskite because it is a creature that can get a counter from the Steel Overseer. It's also a little bit of Galvanic Blast protection.
Sure.
If that's what Hawkins draws.
Yep. It's not completely dead.
There's Glimmer Void. What's interesting here, and I find this a lot with Affinity, we just saw a turn 1 Steel Overseer. It has been killed, and it looks like Morawski might lose this game now, which was a little bit surprising. We always kind of, at least myself, I try to figure out what the most important cards are in certain matchups. And every time I try to say it's not cranial plating,
it's plating.
It always ends up being plating.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know, Arcbound Ravager's really good. And it's like, no, it's plating.
Yep.
It just continues to be cranial plating.
I mean, people have played around with so many other cards. There's the artifact that gives +2/+2 that equips for 1 on colorless creatures.
The Ghost Fire Blade.
Yep. And that's seen some play. There's the Blue Lord that pumps all your artifacts.
Master of Ethereum.
That's seen some play, but all of them have kind of come and gone. Cranial plating's always there.
Plating always stays. Plating always stays. And it's always fantastic. So you saw an attack there with the Mem Knight. Hawkins falls down to 10, and Steel Overseer activation gave all the creatures even more counters.
And then you see, because Eric didn't have to use his mana for the plating, activate 2 of his creature lands, and more bonuses for everyone.
Yep. Overseer will get a little bit larger. Nexuses will get a few counters along with the Vault Scourge. I think Eric has done a pretty nice job of managing this. Would have been easy to panic. 5 permanents on the first turn of the game.
Yes.
Darksteel Citadel to draw. That'll be the land for the turn. Another artifact for plating.
And he has a lot to do with his mana, so that's not a bad draw.
See a Blink Moth Nexus without a counter, one with it, along with an Ink Moth Nexus. Mox Opal, Darksteel Citadel, those are the lands Eric has access to. There's a lot of counting to be done with this deck. You said you played this deck at Worlds. There's a lot of math.
Not easy.
Yeah. And that was a different Affinity deck, obviously. You had Disciple of the Vault. And
Oh, Disciple of the Vault.
that card's legal. No one plays it, by the way.
It's a different world.
I know, it's weird to me. Because back in Mirrodin Block Constructed, someone played Disciple and you just expect to die.
Yep.
You know, they'd file one in. It's like, okay, it's over. I lose. And it doesn't even see play now.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
even like a card like Thoughtcast.
Yeah, also gone.
One blue to draw 2 cards?
Yep.
Not good enough.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's just kind of...
It's strange.
Yeah, it's just where we're at. I remember the bad Affinity cards. Broodstar.
Yeah, that.
Assert Authority.
There were some clunkers.
Before Darksteel showed up, there were... I think
and now and then Wizards just gets you. They print Broodstar, they make it a rare, and you're just like, wow, this thing has to be good.
Yep.
You know? It's the rare Affinity card.
Yeah, so it has to go in the deck.
Yeah.
You know?
Nope.
Somber Hoverguard.
You're better off playing Hover Guards than you are Broodstar.
Yeah, which just makes no sense at all. Just a 1-mana 3/2 flyer. Doesn't die to artifact removal spell, though. The attack here is with a Vault Scourge and a Blink Moth Nexus serving into the red zone here by Eric.
Let's get frisky.
It feels a little risky, a touch.
Oh, he's going to gain so much life off of the Vault Scourge.
Yeah.
And he can still move the plating at instant speed.
Yeah, he still has that available.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 artifacts on the battlefield right now. Yeah, this is a lot of... Man, maybe plating plus Vault Scourge is the way to kind of combat this situation. I mean, it's the way he's doing it this game. Now I'm trying to figure out what Morawski can draw to get out of this situation.
He's actually in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
Hawkins is going to gain so much life that Morawski can't even be the aggressive player anymore.
Might have to slow down. Both players going to calculate damage. It looks like Morawski has no blocks in this spot. Hawkins is still sitting on that Arcbound Ravager. I'm curious if he's going to cast it. No, he's just going to pass. Okay. It's 19-8 now in favor of Eric.
A small swing.
Inkmoth Nexus, I believe, the draw. Morawski taking a long look over the battlefield.
Yeah, he's got to come up with a game plan here. You know, the Mem Knight can probably keep attacking, but everything else is staying back.
Yeah, so if we put ourselves in Morawski's shoes, as far as, you know, draws that he could have in this situation or how he's supposed to move forward here, because he's in a pretty bad spot now. Do you like this attack here?
Well, yeah, the creatures on the ground don't do anything.
Okay.
Defensively, so the next turn they're not going to block anything.
Okay.
You know, his opponent has a Vault Scourge and some creature lands that fly, so might as well keep sending those into the red zone.
So these are safe.
Yeah.
Okay. So Spellskite, the Mem Knight, those are going to come in. Spellskite currently a 1-power creature, Mem Knight a 4-power creature. I think if you're Eric, you're free to just say no blocks.
Yeah, the damage is pretty negligible at this point.
Steel Overseer is going to go active. Creatures will grow.
He went down with the Mem Knight token instead of up. I like that.
Yeah. Let me help.
A little bit cagey. Yeah. You take care of those. I'll take care of this one.
I'll take 3 for your Mem Knight.
Yeah.
Hawkins will fall down to 12.
And you would think your turn 1, 0 mana, 5/5 would be getting the job done, but it's not enough.
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised, as we're going to head back Eric's way. Steel Overseer did activate for him. He'll draw a card here. Again, remember, Arcbound Ravager in hand. I think Signal Pest may have been the draw here for Eric. And the way he's moving things around.
Yeah, he's probably in the situation where if he can power up 3 flyers or 3 creatures and just move the plating to unblock one, he wins the game.
Yep. He's going to activate both of these. 1 Ink Moth, 1 regular, and then Vault Scourge is going to come in. And with the ability to instantly move Cranial Plating, he might be able to just attack for... I think he's got lethal coming no matter what, either via 10 infect damage or just regular damage. Morawski's going to activate both of these.
Yeah, Morawski's he's gonna go through the motions, make him do it.
Absolutely. Because if Jonathan, well, I guess Jonathan has no cards, and I was going to say if he had Galvanic Blast, Eric would have to, excuse me, second guess himself. Man, there are your blocks. You also, I think, in spots like this, force your opponent to know that they can move Cranial Plating instant speed.
Sure.
Because we just don't see that happen a lot.
Yeah, prove it.
Yep. Yeah, he did. And Eric Hawkins is going to win game number 1 here over Jonathan Morawski. The Infinity Mirror goes to the player on the right, as these players now do get ready to sideboard here. So we will take a look at the sideboards here for both players. We will start with Jonathan Morawski, who's got 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Thoughtseize, 2 Gear Pow Aether Grid, a Rule Law, and that's Champion, 3 Ancient Grudge, 1 Nature's Claim, 2 Blood Moons, and a Relic of Progenitus. Fire away, my friend. What do we like?
This is really interesting. Those Aether Grids are super intriguing to me.
It can be very good in the match.
It can be so good, or it can just be clunky and slow.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if he brings those in. Obviously, all the artifact removal, Ancient Grudges, and Nature's Claim, they're going to come in.
I don't think much else. We'll see Etched Champions get moved out of the deck, as that has no relevant texture. Again, as you mentioned, Aether Grid, it's high. It feels like high risk, high reward. Like if Aether Grid showed up that game, I think it would have been terrible, because the creatures are already too big.
Yeah.
But maybe there are certain spots where it could have shown up and it been a little bit relevant. But there are also some spots where if you play it preemptively, you can destroy the opponent's entire board. They can't do anything. And you see Hawkins has 2 of those himself, along with 2 Ancient Grudges, a Blood Moon, a Whip Flare, a Dismember. That's Champion, a Relic of Progenitus, a Choke, 3 Thoughtseize, 2 Stubborn Now. So probably similar sideboarding.
Yeah. He has the Dismember that he can bring in. That seems really good. It gets the big things. It gets the fast things. It's going to come in. The Aether Grids, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe if you're on the play, you bring them in. On the draw, you don't.
Okay.
I don't know. But obviously, the Ancient Grudge is just spectacular in that matchup.
All right, well, as these players do shuffle up and get ready here for game number 2, it'll be Jonathan Morawski on the play. Wasn't good enough with 5 permanents on turn 1, so we'll see if he can top that for game number 2. In the meantime, we're going to talk about our Season 3 Invitational Champion. That's Alex Pistecki, who got the job done when we were in New Jersey, beat Stephen Mann in the finals, got to play the Players' Championship, and made day 2 of that bad boy. So it was great to see him at the Star City Game Center in Roanoke just a few weeks ago. He got this Germ token for winning the Invitational. A couple ways to go about getting it. Not a lot of time left, by the way. If you do play in an Open, you do play in a Classic, and all orders from StarCityGames.com for $5 or more. That's how you go about getting this Germ token for our Season 3 Invitational Champion last year. Again, Alex Pistecki, congratulations to him, and congratulations on that Invitational win as we do get ready here for game number 2 between Eric Hawkins and Jonathan Morawski. And Eric Hawkins is the player that we'll learn a little bit more about right now, the Minnesota native who really made a name for himself last year in the Open Series, from St. Paul, 31 years old, 2 Open Series top 8s. A runner-up finish in one of those Open Series. Lost to Tom Ross in the finals when we were in St. Louis. He makes his living by playing Magic and poker. Apparently loves to sing Disney songs, and he is a sports fanatic, which means I have to ask you, my friend.
Wait. I have to call bogus on the...
Oh, excuse me. On which one?
Publicly sing songs from Disney movies?
Yeah.
How much time have you spent around this man?
Not a ton. I'm normally here in the booth.
But you've seen him singing Disney songs?
I personally have not, but he... Look,
apparently it happens?
These fact sheets are correct.
Okay.
These are fact sheets.
Okay.
Fact.
I didn't realize.
So, begs the question, what kind of Disney songs do you like to sing? Do you have a favorite Disney? Everyone has a favorite Disney song and Disney movie.
Probably the most impactful Disney movie for me growing up,
Okay.
Little Mermaid.
Great one. So that's a very good one. Under the Sea, as it were.
Sure.
One could argue the best Disney song of all time.
It's a good one.
I lean towards Hakuna Matata and The Circle of Life, as The Lion King was very instrumental into my childhood.
It explains a lot.
Does it?
No, I just... you put me on here and tell me to talk. So
Simba, great. The Hyenas, great. Just a great movie. I'm a little lacking currently on my Disney movie knowledge. However, I haven't seen a lot of the new stuff.
yeah,
I haven't seen a movie like Up. Everyone tells me that one's great.
it's good.
A bunch. Oh, so you have seen Up?
I have seen Up.
Yeah, I've heard it's very good. I think that's Disney. I don't think that's Pixar. If I'm wrong, whatever. Don't correct me on Twitter. I don't care. Or else you're gonna take them all again. You got to put them in their place sometimes.
Sure.
They'll get after you on Twitter.
Well, they've been pretty gentle with me so far. I appreciate that.
Uh-oh, Matthias has chimed in. First of all, we thank you for watching at home, Matthias. Look forward to having you in the booth at Ryan Overturf later this year. Road trips with Hawkins should put this does he sing Disney questions to rest. Apparently the answer is a resounding yes.
Okay, well, there we go.
So that if there was ever any doubt. See, like I said, they're fact sheets.
You guys know what you're doing here.
Well, they fill out the fact sheets, so they could not be fact. But from what we found...
Whoa.
Hold on, what
You just told me it was a fact.
It's a fact sheet. Well, they're facts by the players. They could trick us, but apparently these things are all true. And if Matthias said it was true...
Really backpedaling on your statements here.
I'm just... You never know. You just never know.
Okay.
Agent Cooper apparently was on Twin Peaks, by the way, which doesn't mean anything to me because I don't know what Twin Peaks is.
Still not sure.
Oh, Disney is Pixar. Well, I feel stupid.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I wasn't sure about that.
You could have saved me from this embarrassment, but you just let me go on my own.
Patrick talked to me about this.
A couple copies of Blinkmoth Nexus. There's a Dark Steel Citadel to a cranial plating there from Morawski. And even though he doesn't have a creature just yet outside of that Blinkmoth Nexus, just having a plating might be important enough.
Well, it's a slower start that we're looking at here.
For sure. I did not expect to see this card in.
That's a surprising card to me. In the mid to late game, that card's generally just dead.
Yeah. Here's a Thoughtseize. Cranial Plating, 2 Glimmer Voids, and an Ancient Grudge, the weapons of choice here. We'll see what Hawkins does want to select from these cards. Disney is Pixar? Man, I feel stupid. Thank you, Justin Lewis on Twitter.
All right.
A lot of people chiming in, fans of Mulan.
See, that
I'll make a man out of you.
Didn't see it.
That's a good one, actually. I saw that on Christmas once. It's a good one. I don't know if it's better than Little Mermaid.
See, I don't have any kids anymore.
Okay.
And not anymore. I don't have any kids.
Anymore was a weird word to use there.
I don't have children.
Okay, there you go. You saved it.
So to go see the Disney movies is...
What? Just be a kid again. What's the problem?
I don't know. I guess that's just not me.
Yeah, you can just keep being a kid and just keep watching Disney movies. It's completely fine.
Dress up one of the cats like a little kid.
Bang.
Bring him into the theater.
There you go.
That's not weird at all.
An Arcbound Ravager, a Vault Scourge there from Hawkins. You saw the Thoughtseize take care of a copy of Ancient Grudge, which means Morawski only get to cast one of those. He does have Glimmer Void in his hand, so green mana won't be an issue on the flashback.
This is looking pretty good for Hawkins here.
I like my positioning. One thing we know about Affinity, and this was true during Mirrodin Block, and I still think it's true now, one Artifact Destruction spell, not going to get it done.
Yep.
You're going to need either a mass Artifact Destruction spell, or you're going to need a bunch of them. Now, I like getting rid of this Arcbound Ravager now, and then letting Eric make his move where he will.
Yeah, you got to deal with it as soon as possible before there's too many options.
Now there's a Steel Overseer and a passing of the turn. So we'll head back Hawkins' way. 3 mana being tapped very quickly. The Aether Grid. This is one of those spots where the Aether Grid is like unbeatable.
Yeah, this is going to be a blowout.
Yeah. Aether Grid's going to come down, take care of Steel Overseer. 1 damage is going to come across. And now, I don't even know what... I mean, there have to be good draws left, but I don't know what they are.
Well, it's got to be bigger than a 1/1.
Yeah. It's got to be bigger than a 2/2, right?
Sure.
Yeah. It's got to be at least 3 toughness.
Maybe Arcbound Ravager?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I understand what you're saying there. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot of stuff to keep it around.
You would have to feed your board to it.
Yeah. Here comes Blinkmoth Nexus. There's an equip. There's another Nexus. Here's an activation. Come across for a couple points of damage here. I mean, 1, 2, 3. Looks like 4 points. 5? Am I bad at counting?
Both Nexuses got activated,
okay.
right?
Yep, you're right. 5. See, you still got that Affinity math from 04. You got it.
Nice and easy.
I think with affinity math, once you actually know it from affinity experiences, here's a cranial plating, so this game's probably going to end in a second. Once you know it, you never forget it. The affinity math. I didn't play affinity. I was stupid. I was one of those players playing the Molder Slugs decks.
Sure.
Which, just really dumb.
Molder Slug was not
good.
Not good.
Not good. I had Molder Slugs and Arc Sloggers and Viridian Shamans and Electrostatic Bolts, and I did a lot of losing.
Some of those cards are okay.
They're fine. Not great.
Molder Slug.
Not good.
Not good.
Eric Hawkins going to win this match over Jonathan Morawski, 2-0. He wins the Affinity Mirror, and he moves on to 5-0. He's getting his 2016 off to a great start. Remember, for Hawkins, he missed out on the Players' Championship. First guy out, unfortunately, for him.